month, there's been a lot of discussion about what the law did well, where there might be room for improvement, and what challenges still remain on the financial landscape. And as we look back, I think it is without question that establishing the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has been one of the cornerstone achievements of the law. Families now have an independent cop on the beat on their side to identify and stop predatory and deceptive practices. And the CFPB provides both consumers and policymakers with better information and research about financial products, risks, and trends in the market. Now, I fought hard for the CFPB's creation as a member of the committee, as well as many of the protections it is charged with enforcing, such as strong mortgage servicing rules to stop foreclosure abuses and protections to end abusive and deceptive credit card practices. And I also fought hard for many of the Wall Street reforms, financial stability, and corporate governance improvements. And while the law is not perfect and some important challenges remain, the last 5 years have shown that overall there's a lot it got right. And Director Cordray, the CFPB has been at the forefront of many of these gains, which is a testament to the work that you, Senator Warren, and the CFPB staff have put in to stand up the agency from scratch and continue its positive development. So I want to commend you for being a force for good. There's two areas that I'd like to get into my questions. One is about mortgage servicers, evasion of the dual track provisions, and some of the credit card reforms that I fought for in the 2009 Credit Card Act. I want to talk to you about those. I'm pleased that the Bureau has made these a priority. While our economy and housing market continue to recover from crisis, there are still many parts of the country struggling with mortgage debt and foreclosure, including my home state of New Jersey, which has the highest rate in the country of homes currently in foreclosure. Now, despite the CFPB's new rules, many homeowners behind in their mortgages continue to face obstacles to obtain modifications that can help. For example, until mortgage servicers mark applications as complete, homeowners are not eligible for dual tracking protections, which prohibit a servicer from moving forward with a foreclosure while the homeowner is pursuing loss mitigation. While homeowners scramble to pull together document after document, they accumulate additional fees and burdens that make them even more likely to default. Some servicers request documents on a piecemeal basis and repeatedly request the same documents, making prompt and effective loss mitigation a pipe dream for distressed homeowners. Do you have concerns that servicers are intentionally obstructing the loss mitigation process to favor foreclosure? And if so, what more can be done to correct misaligned incentives and protect consumers?
We do, and I do have concerns about that. And for me, they go back to when I was a state treasurer and county treasurer at the local level in Ohio and saw the difficulties that mortgage servicing problems were creating for individual homeowners who really didn't deserve to have that heaped on top of financial distress. When we created our new mortgage servicing rules, which went into effect in January of 2014, we look closely at those issues which we know are pain points for consumers. We hear about it on our consumer complaint line frequently and worked to address them. We have had further work that we're doing both in enforcement actions. We've had several enforcement actions against mortgage servicers where this has been part of the problem and part of the answer in orders that we had to impose, and also in supervisory work that we're doing with institutions that we highlighted in our supervisory highlights last edition so that all of industry could know again that this is a focus for us. It's a problem that has been persisting for years, and it's one that they need to clean up. It is a complex problem, and as you noted, different states have different situations that they're in with underwater homeowners or with foreclosure processes that differ dramatically from judicial to non-judicial foreclosure states, but this has been pretty much a constant across the country.
I'd like to follow up with you.
That's fine.
Many cases of
fine.
this. Finally, with the 2009 Credit Card Act, we're pleased to see that an independent valuation 4 years later show that the Act reforms are saving American consumers almost $21 billion per year. In 2013, the Bureau released its own report on the Card Act that found similar successes, but also identified market practices that are concerns for consumers. Can you give us an update in that regard?
I can. I will tell you that, and I go back to the state level where we saw all kinds of complaints people were making about credit cards. This is 2005, 2006, before the Card Act, before the financial crisis. That market is considerably better today than it was 10 years ago. And I'd say there are three reasons for that, and I want to give credit where it's due. I think the Card Act and the Federal Reserve rules have made an enormous difference in correcting problems in late fees, universal default, other issues. Some of the real problems have been cleaned up. Second, credit card companies themselves have done a better job on customer service. You can see it in the J.D. Power surveys. The Net Promotion Score Index, which they have used in handling credit card calls from customers, has been an enormous shift, putting financial incentives behind the way people handle those calls so that they are more consistent with what the customer is looking for rather than just trying to get them off the phone. I want to give the companies credit for that. I would ask them to think about using Net Promotion Score Index principles across their customer service and all of their financial products. That would be a good thing. They know how to do it. They should do it. The third thing is consumers themselves. Coming out of the financial crisis, consumers have been more responsible about thinking about how to approach their credit card debt, whether to maintain long-term revolving credit card debt, what the interest rates are on that. People have been paying down debt. And I think when you're a consumer who's having a better experience in managing your own debt, you're going to have a better experience with your company, you're going to have a better experience with the marketplace. That to me has been one of the success stories. There's still issues that we're concerned about, we're looking at. Deferred interest is an issue of some concern for us. How the rewards programs are advertised, we just want to be careful about that. And the credit card add-ons obviously have been a point of particular focus for us through enforcement actions, and I think much of that has been cleaned up. But I would say the credit card industry is a hopeful sign for me that the financial institutions, when they come under pressure from Congress and others, and also when they understand the importance of doing it themselves, have the ability to clean up their act. And I would urge them to consider what they've done there and how they could do it elsewhere.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.